Hello, everyone. It is April 11th. Here is your evening news rundown. This is going to be a busy one, so I apologize in advance. But to all those who have become paid subscribers to my Substack by clicking the button below or supporting my channel by sending a one time donation via Venmo to Aaron Parnas, know that it truly means the world to me. My birthday is coming up. A lot of you guys sent little birthday gifts. Thank you so much. To all those who have, your support allows me to do this full time. And without your support, I can't do it full time because I'm not backed by any large companies or anything like that, which means I have full editorial control over my reporting. And I think that's so important in this day and age. With that, let's just jump right into it. The big news of this afternoon is that according to Wired, the Social Security Administration will now solely communicate with seniors, all public communications, through Twitter, even as it moves to slash nearly 90% of its regional office staff. Critics say that this shift could leave seniors in the dark and beneficiaries in the dark as well, especially given the fact that it will be spread on a platform known for misinformation and a platform where many senior citizens in America have never even used before. In addition, the Trump administration is now advancing plans to significantly reduce and cut funding for NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's climate research capabilities. According to CNN, this includes eliminating the Office of Oceanic and Atmospheric Research, cutting $480 million from climate focused programs, and transferring more conservation responsibilities to U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services. In addition, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Republican from Georgia, is under fire this afternoon as calls for an investigation into potential insider trading are rising as she purchased stocks in major U.S. companies that had sharply declined following Donald Trump's global tariffs announcement on April 2nd. Her acquisitions included companies like Amazon, Apple, Dell, Lululemon, and the parent company to Restoration Hardware. They were made between April 3rd and April 4th, totaling between $19,000 and $285,000. The stocks then rebounded after Donald Trump paused most tariffs for 90 days, leading to significant questions of possible conflicts of interest. In addition, U.S. consumer confidence has plunged to its lowest level in 45 years, with the University of Michigan's index dropping to 50.8 in the month of April. This sharp decline reflects widespread concerns over job security, rising inflation, and economic uncertainty amid Donald Trump's escalating trade war policies. A recent Washington Post survey reveals that 59% of U.S. manufacturing workers believe that Donald Trump's tariffs will negatively impact their jobs and companies, with only 22% expecting benefits. Even a majority of Trump voters, less than half, anticipate positive effects from the tariffs. Major court cases today. First, a U.S. immigration judge in Louisiana has ruled that Mahmoud Khalil, a Columbia University graduate student and legal permanent resident of the United States of America, can be deported under a rarely used statute citing, quote, potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences due to his participation in pro Palestinian campus demonstrations. The decision, based on a memo from Secretary of State Marco Rubio, has sparked criticism from civil rights advocates who argue it infringes on free speech rights. Federal courts have temporarily halted Khalil's removal as legal challenges continue. Donald Trump has expressed optimism about reaching a trade agreement with China despite the recent escalations over reciprocal tariffs. In addition, Caroline Levitt, the press secretary for the White House, has emphasized that while Donald Trump is open to negotiations, continued retaliation from China would be detrimental to both nations, highlighting the U.S. strong economic position. Senator Elizabeth Warren, alongside five other Democratic senators, has called on the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, to investigate whether or not Donald Trump or his associates engaged in insider trading or market manipulation. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, has stated that there is now a 50% chance of a U.S. recession this year, citing factors like inflation, high deficits, and market volatility. The founder of the private military contractor Blackwater, Eric Prince, has now proposed to the Trump administration the establishment of a U.S. run migrant detention facility within El Salvador's Secot prison. In addition, a federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to provide daily updates on the efforts to bring Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a Maryland resident, mistakenly and erroneously deported to El Salvador, where he is currently detained in that Secot facility, which is a maximum security prison facility. New York State Attorney General Letitia James, along with 15 other states Attorney General, and Pennsylvania Governor Shapiro, have filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration for abruptly halting over $1.1 billion in federal education funding intended to assist low income and homeless students recovering from the COVID pandemic. A Delaware judge has ruled that Newsmax defamed Dominion voting systems by broadcasting false claims that the company rigged the 2020 presidential election. The case will now proceed to a jury trial on April 28th to determine whether or not Newsmax acted with actual malice and to assess any potential damages as Dominion seeks more than $1.6 billion in damages. A Pennsylvania man has been federally charged with threatening to assassinate Donald Trump and other officials, including Elon Musk. The threats were posted on his YouTube channel between February and April of this year. Thank you all so much for watching this. Thank you for your support. If you like this work, please consider subscribing to my Substack by clicking the button below or sending a one-time donation to support my work via Venmo to Aaron Parnas. And I'll see you in the morning for a morning news rundown. So take care.